Hi there, I just want to record a quick video about the precision issues that sometimes we find on Maya. So in this case, I was working in a bug that was reported on mGear for the intermediate transformations in the joint structure. So I'm just going to show you the issue here. So you can see here, I have this transform happening here where this should be direct parented there. If I try to move this one, I get another transform, so it's no way I can get that. And the reason is because this joint here, the parent joint, is not the scale 1. It has some scale in there. And as you can see, it's very small, the difference. Indeed, if you have the default Maya settings here for the channel precision, so that I think it's 5, the default one, you will not see anything. It's 1. So it says, it's 1. Okay, so you can go pretty crazy here, like trying to figure out why is this happening. You know, this is because it's scaling, but there is no scaling, so why it's happening. And I'm just gonna change the settings again so we can see it back. So this is crank up to 15, that is the maximum precision value. So you can see here, this is this value that's going on there. So the reason it's basically the it's scaling, this little scaling, it's because somehow the squash and stretch solver, it's been triggered. So it means when I build, it's a perfect balance. So it means it's the length, it's 1, that it's not squash or not stretch. And when it's 1, the scale should be 1. The thing is here, slightly change it. So while I was building the rig, something happened that moved that value by a little, and forced that triggering of this stretch, making this smaller. And then when I generate the next joint, because this is, remember, this is where when I'm building the joint, so it should be all like reset to 0 or to neutral position. In this case, scaling it's 1. So what happened here is that during this building process, something moved the leg after the calculation of the balance point. That means it's the scale 1. And turns out that it's the IK space solver reference. So you go here for the guides, and it's here open. So if we go here, we have these two references, the root and the body. So basically we're talking about the root, it's sorry, this one here, and the body is this one there. I think, yeah, this is the root. So they have same orientation, so it's not about the orientation, it's just the translation. So normally what you do, it's okay, this is my space, so you add the parent constraint where you maintain the offset. So your object should not move, and you have 2 spaces that you can switch one between the other. So I can show you this here. So this is a parent constraint I'm talking. So we have 2 constraints. And when I created, I added this maintain offset that will set up these values. And here it's the thing. For some reason, these values are not as precise as the other calculations. So means it's doing some rounding somewhere. And the result is that when I create the constraint, even with the parent with the maintain offset, it's moving slightly my object, just a little bit, but enough to trigger my squash and stretch solver. And I did some logging here. You can see a random, a bunch of numbers here, but this, it's the position of my object, the one that it's has the parent constraint before I apply the parent constraint. And you can see here, this is the after, this one here. So you can see here on the values, this long number, it's exactly the same for X, Y, but look at Z. We have from 399 here at the end to 397. So just slightly difference in the value, but enough to trigger my squash or my stretch in this case, but well, it's the same solver. And that it's happening after I calculated my point of balance, because I mean, the way I build this, it's by order. So when I calculate my balance, it's okay. And then I have the spaces because I need the rest of the components to be there to add spaces and interact between each other. So basically Maya, it's making this little rounding error that it's creating a kind of issue or big issue on my rig. So I've been trying to reset again the maintain offset after everything is set, just in case. But look, even if I try that, it's still the same value. So it means there is some rounding here that is not exactly the same. So it's missing precision, and it's but here when it generates the joints, then it wants this precision, and well, it's generating this intermediate transform. So one solution is to disconnect everything, reset your joints, reconnect again, then so kind of like after the build, kind of clean up your joints. I do some I have some scripts that do that, but I think what I'm gonna try in this case, and it's something like you maybe want to try if you are in the same situation. It's just to create reference objects that are exactly in the same position as the driven object. So instead of use my driver object as direct constraint to the driven, I'm just going to create a child of this driver that is exactly in the same position of the driven, and hopefully with that we'll avoid this precision issue, because it should be in the same place and maybe the rounding should not be happening. But yeah, that's all for this fantastic topic of Maya rounding precision issues. Okay, so have a nice day. See you. Bye.